All right, guys, welcome back to another video of Shaman J. This video is 2,500 miles later with the 2024 Tesla Model Y. Now, I've really been enjoying this car, man. I actually got 2,500 miles on it. I've been doing a lot of traveling. I got this car to daily drive it, and I didn't realize I would put 2,500 miles on it so quickly. But the fact remains, it's a wonderful daily driver. If you're looking for something that's very efficient, the Teslas or just EVs in general, I'm not just going to give it just to Tesla. EVs in general are great for people who drive less than 200 miles a day. And even if you do drive more than 200 miles a day, you clearly can just charge up on the go. But the ideal situation, as I get into charging, is to charge at home as much as possible. I obviously, if you've been following me long enough now, I have solar, and I'm about to add on two batteries from Tesla shortly, so I can just kind of go off the grid as much as possible. But charging, I made a video about charging and how to charge your vehicle, so I won't really need to get into that. But ideally, people should charge at home. And again, in a video, I quoted Tesla. They said just plug up when you're at home, and so you can always leave with the adequate charge that you need. So that's pretty much what I do. The Teslas are always charged. And speaking of charging, I've gotten, in the last 7 days, I've gotten 4 software updates, man. And I think a lot of you guys are starting to realize you got more range. My 80% is now, some of you guys have been reporting your 80% is up to 249 now. Mine is up to 247. And I was like, whoa, I got more range just from the software updates that Tesla's doing. I'm assuming that's what it is because my range has never gone, my 80% has always been 243. And some of you guys started to report to me, hey Jay, after that software update, my range is now 249. And I think some people said 247 like me, but mine is 247. So it's a good thing that they're upping the range on these cars, and the cars are really efficient. I wanted to explain something to people out there. I was talking to this guy, and he was like, well, your car is only rated at 305 miles. My Nissan Altima can do 1.5 times that. And I tried to explain to him, that doesn't mean that you're going to make, he said, let's take a 400-mile road trip and you won't make it there before me. And I was just like, okay, man, he clearly doesn't understand how the EVs work. My efficiency on this car, I just took 2 trips, long trips, over 3 hours one way. I took three actually, 4. Oh man, I took 5 trips. Some of them are over 3 hours and some of them are 2 hours, but I just drove in chill mode and the efficiency is crazy. It's really good. And I was trying to explain to this guy, because my projected range was up to 385. If I would have kept going, at this distance. And I was like, wow, these cars are very efficient. A lot of you guys have already reported, I get way more than what it is. And some people don't understand EVs. So 2,500 miles later, there's things about the Tesla I just think are great. And I was blessed and fortunate enough to get mine at the 0.99% for 72 months. Easy peasy. And I'm excited about that. Now, unfortunately, some of you guys bought yours before that deal, and then you guys bought yours after that deal. But excuse me, if you got a good deal, a good enough deal for you, that's really all that matters. So how's the car been doing as a whole? There is nothing wrong with this car. I'm trying to think, did I have any error messages or anything? Oh, yes, recently. And I think it was because I switched phones and I just kept moving in and out. On that particular day, I was going in and out of the car multiple times, and I noticed it wasn't locking. And then I had to manually lock it, and then I switched phones again. It's clear now, but my card wasn't unlocking the car, and I had to manually do it from my phone. But that cleared up, and I think it's just because, I was moving in and out of phones and moving in and out of the car. I was doing a lot of running around, and, I ended up, doing just a bunch of in and out of the car, and I guess the car didn't like it too much. I don't know, but I think it's because I switched phones like 4 times that day. I don't know. Nonetheless, it worked. It just kind of got hung up on not locking for a second, and then it wouldn't accept my backup card that I keep in my wallet. So that's neither here nor there. That's perfectly fine now. and I just haven't had any problems with driving this car. Now, I want to address a couple things before I step out of the car. That some people are saying that it's a rough ride. Now, the 24s have been reported by tons of people who have bought them. Even the performance models, I have the dual motor, so I have the 19-inch wheels with a lot of rubber on it. The 21-inch wheels that come on the performance apparently have been approved. They've been approved, and the ride quality is a lot better on the performance model. So take that into consideration. If you're a person, I just keep hearing people say, well, I didn't like the ride. I drove it on a test drive. I didn't like the ride. It's just not better than a gas car. That's just the silliest thing ever. But maybe the car you were driving was a demo car that was beat up on and it needed a balance. It could have been anything. But my experience with the ride on this ride is so smooth. It's super smooth. Now, as far as noise in the car, it does have the double pane windows up front, but I don't think that it's that quiet of a car. It's a quiet car because there's no engine. But when I'm traveling, again, I took several trips and they were all at 75 or above, and I could hear the road. I could hear the road. So, and it wasn't loud. It's just that I could hear the road. And you can hear the road depending on the tire that you have and the conditions of the road. And so that's not to say I heard the road and it's a horrible thing. I just can hear the road like every other car. This car is very quiet, very smooth. I do like that I still have my stocks. I like these right here. I think that's a huge plus. I got the software update a couple weeks ago, and I didn't make a specific video on this because I actually did it with the Model 3 that we have in the garage. So I didn't feel like doing it all over again, but I did get the update, and it's working fine, no problems. And since that update, I've gotten easily 5 updates or more. I got 4 or 5 in the last 7 days, and just said minor bug fixes, and it actually added some stuff on. So there's a lot in the software updates, but I've gotten a ton of them in the last week, and that's a good thing. This car can just grow and grow and grow and get better without you changing. It's just a software-based car. So yeah, the software's been good, no problems whatsoever. I haven't had any issues with the car crashing or the software crashing, nothing like that. Now, as you can see here, my screen up front is gone. I took it out because I'm probably going to put it in the Model 3, but I still have my screen in the back here because that one's going to come in handy for some future road trips. Now, let's hop out the car and let's talk about the exterior and how it's holding up. But basically, the interior is doing good. The interior is doing good. I still have this little Tesla mat up here that I bought. Everything's good. No problems with the car at all. Nothing. The interior is holding up good, holding up great. Obviously, I got my sunshade up here that I installed. Everything is working like it's supposed to work, and the interior. Talking about that, you bought the shade. One person, I'm gonna say some of you guys. One person bought the shade, and they were saying that it's not going all the way back. Well, I was making a mistake of holding this button, and you just need to tap it once after it's going to stop it in position, or you just press it once, and it starts to shed. That's how it works. So read your instruction manual, folks, and make sure you're doing it the right way. Because I don't work for the company, so I can't give you like tech support, but I'll try to answer any questions I can. But the interior of the car is great. All buttons and all things here work. Nothing's gone wrong. Everything is great. Now, before I get out of the car, I want to tell you about the worst dislike on this car ever, and it's right here. This is the worst HVAC system I've ever used. Now, I know that I've already been saying this from my Model 3, but man, in my Model 3, I have it set perfectly, and it just works. This car, I just can't get these adjusted properly. That is the worst HVAC system I have ever used. They really need to ditch this and just get some regular tabs to move so you can have your HVAC running like it's like a regular car. At least, man, give us that. I've always felt like this HVAC system was kind of quirky and wonky, but in this Model Y, I just can't get these things leveled rightly. or rightly get these things leveled correctly at to where it's not pointing at my knees or my face. And it's a mess, man. So eventually I just turn it towards the windows and just let, it'll cool the entire car down. But I do not like the way this HVAC system is done. This is one of the worst things about this car, if not the worst thing about this car. Now let me hop out and we'll talk about the exterior. Because obviously, I did some mods on the exterior and I'll show you how they're holding up. All right, so here's the exterior. The exterior mods. If it's a little windy, just pardon me on that, because I got the wind filter on, but it's just windy out here. So the exterior mods, check that. The exterior mods, everything that I've done is holding up great. Now I have this car to where I take it to the drive-through. I don't hand wash this car because it's 100 degrees outside. It's too hot. So this side of the bumper right here, where I put the carbon fiber lip on, splitter, held up great. This side over here came off on me. It didn't come off. It just, the adhesive got really loose because I messed it up when I first did it and I just could never get it. So it's actually on there and not moving, but it does look kind of tacky because I had to add more adhesive. So I'm going to add some more adhesive. I'm gonna remove the bumper probably at some point, whenever I have time, and put it on again with some new 3M, and it'll be seated just fine because it's screwed in there, so it's not gonna fall off per se. It's just that side over there. This side is kind of annoying with the space right there, and then this side is perfect. Yeah, so no fault of the equipment, the item itself. So if you buy this, just know that when you do, take your time and don't be like me and I guess I was rushing. Maybe I was too excited or whatever. I don't know. But just take your time with it and make sure you do it right the first time. Now, the lip is holding up good, even though I had that little issue right there. The carbon fiber, now, to be clear, this isn't the real carbon fiber one. This is the plastic one with the carbon fiber overlay. But this is real carbon fiber. And you can tell the difference in the color. And I also showed the video on that. That in the spoiler is real carbon fiber. This is obviously like a more gray looking color, really bright, like a lighter gray. And this is obviously like real carbon fiber. So those have been holding up good. I made sure when I put those on, because I have my experience with that front lip, I made sure to put extra adhesive on those and I sealed them up really good. They have been doing phenomenal. The mud flaps and everything, someone said, oh, those are the wrong mud flaps. You shouldn't get those. They're going to affect your range. My range is not affected. Everything is fine with these mud flaps. Picking up some for the Model 3 as well. Now the carbon fiber spoiler, again, this is real carbon fiber. You can get the ones that are not real, but this just looks so much better. And I'll eventually probably end up swapping out that front lip for the real carbon fiber because this just looks better. It's a little darker, but it's like the gloss to it. And you can get them in matte as well. You can get all these items right here in matte, but I like gloss because I think the gloss looks really good with the color of the car. So that spoiler and everything is holding up phenomenal. The car looks really, really sleek, man. I can see people staring, like other Model Y owners. I could see them looking like, yo, like, and they just look again and they just saying to themselves, oh, he must have added on to it or whatever. He put the stuff on himself. But yeah, man, 2,500 miles later, my check-in with you, the ride is smooth. The car is holding up great. Just those few issues that I told you might have happened. And then, I don't really care for the HVAC system, but I got AC, so that's fine with me. So there it is, man. I think I've done right by this car. If I start to modify this car, it would just be put the lowering links on just to make it sit a little bit lower. I'm not changing the wheels on here. I really like the way these caps look and the wheels look with the black, the color of the car and the carbon fiber accents. I think it's flawless. I think it looks good. So this is my 2024 Tesla Model Y dual motor, and it has been a blast to drive for the last 2,500 miles, man. It's been great. I like the modifications that I did to it. And I think if you were considering getting a Model Y, even if you didn't get the great deal I got, if you got the great deal, I'm pretty sure you'll shout it out again in the comments. But if you didn't get the good deal I got with the 0.99 and a lot of other people who got it, if you have the 24 Model Y and you're enjoying it, let me know what you like about your car and what you dislike about it. I personally think this car is beautiful as it sits right here. It just looks I like how it is turning out for me and has turned out so far up to this point. This is just a beautiful thing. So it's your man Jay, 2,500 miles. Hope I answered some of the questions that you guys had in mind. Lots of software updates have come in. Like I said, all the modifications are holding up just fine. Nothing with range or anything. I didn't lose any range with these caps. Tesla's software update apparently gave us more range. And I typically drive in chill mode when I'm taking a long trip. Chill mode isn't fast, but it's still fast enough to pass the average car. Like when you hit the accelerator, it's not going to just zoom away like sport mode is. I have this boosted. Remember, I have this boosted. So I have the accelerator boost on here for the $2,000. But remember, I paid 9,500 credits, so I didn't pay the $2,000. But nonetheless, I have the accelerator boost, and this thing is fast, fast, fast. Even when it's on a low charge, it's still faster than 99% of the cars on the road. So it's your man Jay. Hope you guys enjoyed. 2,500 mile check-in. I've been enjoying this thing. What have you done to your car? What modifications do you have? Use the links in the description to buy everything I have on this car, and you'll make yours look fly or whatever, what color you got. Let me know what color you got. Let me know what modifications you bought with the links that you already have on your car. And tag me on Instagram or something like that, and we can link up and I'll see what you got. Take care.